Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and today is Thursday, January 16th, 2020. And you know what that means? It's time for another issue of the Bungie Weekly Blog, This Week at Bungie. And oh man, what a week it's been. If you haven't been paying too much attention to the Destiny community over the past couple of days, well, you may have missed it. We had a video earlier in the week showing it off, but there is a massive puzzle going on in the community right now. It's a new quest that you can pick up from Osiris. It sends you back into the corridors of time from the Saint 14 quest. Only this time there's a specific order you have to go through portals in. It gets you a bunch of different lore drops as well as a new exclusive emblem. Now, like I said, we already have a video covering, well, the basics of that, but it kind of works like this. Starting earlier this week at Reset, the obelisks that were out on the different planets, like in the Tangled Shore and the EDZ and on Mars, they started showing 7 different unique symbols. These symbols correlate with different rooms within the corridor of time, and the order of the symbols going in a clockwise manner tell you the order you have to enter these doors in order to get to a hidden grave. Once you're at that grave, you get a prompt to reveal something, and it gives you one of 19 lore drops. There are 19 different code combinations for all of this lore, all of which we have covered in our video for this. But there was one additional code that we got that gives you a specialized emblem. And so we're going to go ahead and put that here. Now the symbols themselves are this: diamond, double hexagonal, snake, clover, a plus symbol, and finally a cauldron for reset. Now, like I said before, in addition to having lore drops, of which there are 19, there's a lot of these things, there is an additional code that gets you a very special Savior of the Past emblem. The code, or at least the order of doors that you need to enter in to get this emblem, is located on the screen right now. So if you haven't gotten that yet, head back into the corridors of time and enter the doors in the order that you see here. Doing so will grant you that exclusive emblem. But that doesn't mean that's the end of this quest. No, as a matter of fact, getting all of the 19 lore drops actually unlocks a much bigger, much crazier set of puzzles that people are currently figuring out right now. And as soon as we get that all cleared up, we will have a full guide video coming out showing exactly what's coming from all of this. It's been a pretty wild week, and I can't wait to see what comes next. But alright, now that that's been said, let's learn about what's coming in Destiny's very near future. First things first, the Iron Banner is returning. That's right, now that the Dawning is done, Lord Saladin will be returning to the tower starting next week on January 21st at Reset and going until the following week, ending on the 28th. Of course, as a part of the Iron Banner, we'll also be having Double Valor active, so if you're looking to get your Crucible resets, that'll be the time to get it done. Additionally, Bungie says that based on feedback collected during the first Iron Banner from this season, we'll be auto-completing everyone through the portion of the Iron Banner quest that requires rocket launcher defeats. They weren't able to deploy a change to that step, but we can complete it for anyone who hasn't already done so. This gives us time to consider changing or removing this step for next season. Hallelujah. Super happy to hear about that. A lot of people were complaining, myself included, about the rocket launcher step of the Iron Banner quest. And like I said on the podcast a couple weeks ago, the last time we had Iron Banner, I didn't bother. When I got to that part, I was like, I'm not going to complete this. So I'm glad to see that they're pushing forward. Getting rocket launcher kills is an absolute hassle. So who knows? Maybe I'll be able to jump back in and get that done this time around. Alright, moving on. Last week we talked an awful lot about the Australia brush fires that are currently ongoing. In particular, we talked about Bungie putting out an exclusive t-shirt up on the Bungie store, and that the proceeds from the sales of those t-shirts are going to go towards helping that effort. Well, this week we get our first look at the Guardians for Australia t-shirt that you can purchase right now. Additionally, of course, it also comes with a brand new Starlight Starbright emblem as a thank you for your donation. This is an awesome effort that's too important to miss out on. So if you want to help, be sure to head to the Bungie store and pick one of these up on pre-order now. There'll of course be a link to that down in the description box below. Alright, moving on from there, we have one other really big thing to talk about, and that of course is the patch note preview for patch update 2.7.1. which is going to contain a couple of quality of life changes as well as a few changes that I'm really excited about. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. First up, we've got changes coming to the Director. Players can now shortcut directly to their roster by selecting their empty fire team slots right on the screen, or by invoking the roster shortcut on the Director map screens. So you'll be able to jump to your friends list just a little bit faster. And when an activity is selected, Fireteam leaders can navigate left and right to get quests and roster respectively. Then back to their selected activities, so you don't have to back out of things anymore to go to roster or to go to like a Nightfall menu or stuff like that. Definitely a good quality of life change. We've got some changes coming to weapons as well. One I'm really happy to read. Breakneck now has higher damage per second at Rampage level 1 and level 2, from 2170 and 2120 right now up to 2190 and 2410 at Rampage level 1 and Rampage level 2 respectively. Fantastic. This is a blanket buff for the Breakneck. A weapon that got nerfed for absolutely no reason. Absolutely nobody was asking for a Breakneck nerf way back when Shadowkeep initially released, and I'm super glad to see that they're at least partially buffing this thing back up. I'm very happy that they're going to be rebuffing the Rampage perk here. Although I would still say I wish they would just undo what they did to Breakneck, with the change to its archetype and its impact and all of that kind of stuff. Because that, in my opinion, was just absolutely unnecessary. Though there wasn't a soul complaining about Breakneck beforehand. And it kind of really gutted a really solid PvE weapon. Still, very happy to see that they're at least partially undoing some of that damage with this buff to Rampage on the Breakneck. Next up, another fantastic buff. The screen shake on hard light firing has been adjusted. Oh man, super happy to hear this. Anybody who's used Hardlight knows it feels like they're sitting on a washing machine when you fire this thing. Yeah, sure, it feels great and the range is good, but the screen shake is absolutely unbearable. This is something we've been dealing with literally since Destiny 1. And it's fantastic to finally see Bungie do something about it. Now, because of the way Hardlight works, it's basically a gun with an infinite effective level of range. I highly doubt that they've eliminated the screen shake entirely. That's kind of the thing that keeps Hardlight, kind of in check. But hopefully it's lessened to a degree that the weapon is actually usable without making people sick. Very good news there. But alright, moving on, we've got some armor changes as well. Several class item armor mods will now correctly provide diminishing returns when multiple copies of the mods are equipped. These mods include Perpetuation, Innervation, Invigoration, Insulation, and Absolution. So no more stacking those and getting the full effects, I guess. Finally, Grenade Launcher Scavenger will no longer award special ammo for grenade launchers when the player picks up primary ammo bricks. Sad face all around. For those of you running around doing the grenade scavenger cheese, where picking up primary white bricks was giving you special ammo, well, no longer are you going to be able to do that, unfortunately. Bungie has gone ahead and patched that little exploit. Rest in peace. But alright, there we go, Guardians. That's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news to come out of this week's issue of the Bungie Weekly Blog, This Week at Bungie. While a lot of you Guardians are no doubt waiting for the next exciting bit of content to drop in the game, we certainly had some exciting stuff happen, with this whole Corridors of Time quest going on. I'm really excited to see what that's going to be leading into. Bungie's already referred to it as a community challenge of sorts, noting multiple times that it's going to be a marathon puzzle, not a sprint. So it's probably going to take us a little bit longer to figure out. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we got some interesting news Friday around reset time. However, whatever this leads to, I love it. I absolutely love it when Bungie throws in these hidden little Easter egg style quests into the game. It was great when we all stumbled across Whisper of the Worm. It was even better when we stumbled across 0 Hour and the Outbreak Perfected. Shoot, I even enjoyed the crazy puzzle solving that went into Niobe Labs. So I'm definitely down with Bungie throwing more stuff like this at the player base in the future. Great work all around. Maybe just make it a little bit more interesting than a sequence of running through a bunch of different doors to get lore 19 times. That might have been a little bit excessive. But hey, those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. Did you enjoy the Corridors of Time? Are you looking forward to what it's going to end in? What do you think is going to happen? I saw a really interesting, I'll admit, out there theory, but that at the end of the Corridors of Time, whenever we figure it out as a community, boom, Trials unlocks. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be absolutely insane? I would love to see something like that. Or maybe an exotic or whatever is going to be at the end of it. Whatever your thoughts are, whatever you think we're going to get for it, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Even if you think it's just going to be an emblem. That's it for this one, Guardians. Thank you all so much for watching. I love your faces. And as always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.